Hi everybody, this is Stephanie. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. I wanted to give you an update of my breakdown of the Elle Studio monthly kit for April. Basically, if you've seen my previous video, and I'll link it down on the cards and the description box. This is basically, I just break down the Elle Studio monthly kit into bite-sized projects. I believe I got 7 projects within that video. This time around, I didn't have any 12 by 12 layouts. I did have one in mind with the scrapped YouTube 2-inch squares on a 12 by 12 layout and kind of cluster and layer them. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do that for May. Using the May kit because it seems to really focus in on squares for that theme with photographs and stuff like that. It is May 10th, you guys, so this is why I'm referring to the May release for Elle Studio. I got to see the sneaks, I got to fill my cart, and I got to order my kit, and I'm so excited, and I'll share that later on right after I give you that breakdown, the overview of what I completed. I actually completed 9 projects on top of the 7 that I showed you. I just got inspired and I kept on going. So I'm going to share that with you. So in that previous video, I broke down the kits into these pockets. These pockets are from Amazon. I do want to recommend buying the bigger package since there's more in there and you get to save for your buck. At least that's how it was for me. I thought I did buy that, but I didn't. I guess I wanted to try them out. I do want to mention scrapbook.com also offers, I think these are 7x9 pockets, and they do have, I think, a better like opening, and they don't have the Velcro, but in a pinch I'm okay with these, and they do offer a better deal if you buy a bigger bulk package. Just throwing that out there in case you're interested in also doing this. It does not have to be for Elle Studio. You can break down your projects for any type of collection, brand, what have you. All right, so I'm going to just share some of the items that I have left. This is going to be how I break down my kits. I do put them into the Elle Studio stash, and then I'm able to pull them for whenever I need to pull items. So they're not going to stay for just for April. I just like to be able to blend them in and have access to them during any time. Something else that I did not use was the 4x6 card. I finally did cut it down. I have an idea in mind. I was hoarding these stickers, guys, and for 2 reasons, because I wanted them to be special and like the perfect layout, but also I wanted to wait to see if they offered for May puffy stickers with the outlines like this in the cooler tones, so that way I can do a more cohesive rainbow spread if I wanted that option. I know it's ridiculous, but I couldn't resist. So what I have in mind for this layout, and I'll be sharing it in May toward the end, is to document Mother's Day. I haven't got around, obviously, it just happened. So yeah, let's move on to the projects. Like I said in that previous video that I broke it down, I had 7 in mind. I did a few extra traveler's notebook layouts. So let's go into the first one. These layouts are not in chronological order. This is just the album that I store them in. I do have another one just like this in this color. It's a Life Crafted album. I place them in there, and I do try to aim for in chronological order. But here I'm just storing them in here for now. Alright, you guys, let's go to this layout right here. I had made an oops quite a few with the pattern papers from the kit, and it was a mistake on my part. When working with the layouts, I would start working on the pattern papers without realizing that I need to cut them down to 5x8 instead of leaving them at 6x8, which is what obviously they are. So I had to end up cutting a bit off of this paper, and it cuts right here, which is not what I intended. But honestly, at the end of the day, it still shares the story that I'm documenting, so it's not like it was life and death. But still, that's that. Moving to the next layout here, it is a photo of my husband. I am documenting our first time at SeaWorld, our first time, I guess, getting wet, and he just looks so happy, and I captured that photo, and I loved it. So I wanted to document that. Again, these are not in chronological order, so you're going to be seeing gaps and stuff until I place it into my album. This one's not done since I need to print out the photo, which I'm not 100% sure if I want to do a 4x6 or if I just want to do a 3x4, so then I would need to do a pocket, so this is why this is not adhered. But I don't like setting up my Canon selfie to print one photo. I'm weird that way. I like to mass print, so this is why this photo hasn't been printed. This story is documenting my toddler and his love for a quarter, because having a quarter means he has money for the gumball machine. It's his current thing right now. And the photo is just of him holding a quarter, because it was so funny because he got right to cleaning because he knew, like I told him, he'll get a quarter if he picks up his toys. And he was so like driven and so focused on picking up all his toys to get a quarter. And because he, you know, grasped that to get that quarter, he gets to get a gumball machine, you know, get to go to the gumball machines. And also, so that was like 3 different little stories within that one photo. The first one was he cleaned up for a quarter. The second was quarters mean gumball machine. And then the third story, it showed the boys were just watching this play out, how much it changed to have a purpose to, you know, work for money, which is what we're trying to teach them. So all in one, that was such a good, cute, like I couldn't have had a better demonstration of responsibility and having a purpose and making money, like all in one, and they all witnessed it. It was perfect. I used the circles from the pattern paper that I cut out. I used them all over. I loved it. I'm so bummed May does not have a paper pad, but of course they don't do paper pads every single month, so it's normal, but I'm still bummed because I just had so much fun. All right, moving on to the next story. This is actually the first story that I documented using this kit. I just knew, looking at this pattern paper that says remember this in different colors, that this would be the first story that I'm documenting. I did make a mistake. As you can see, it is bigger from all the other ones because this was the first time I just kind of jumped in, didn't even pay attention to if I can swim or not. So it's a 6x8 pattern paper. I should have made sure that I cut it to the 5 in width, which is basically the size of the page protectors in the Life Crafted albums. But again, doing the hose and having it a little bit bigger, I'm not gonna worry about it. You know what I mean? You can't really see it on this side, you can barely see it on that side. I'm not even gonna stress about it. So in this story, this is documenting our trip at the carnival. Due to the pandemic, the carnival had not showed up at our city for the last 2 years, so I was just beyond stoked. I was so happy. There was so many emotions that I felt throughout that day. I was so hyper aware, and looking at this, remember this, I was like, yes, they spoke to me, guys. I just cannot stress how much I love the story. And in reality, I'm telling you, mistake after mistake after mistake, I originally placed the layout like this, but in I don't know, I think it still works out just fine either way. Because if I had done it this way, I would have had to do the hole punching on the numbers, and I wasn't going to have that. So I went ahead and just did it in reverse, and it did some of my journaling, but you can still, you know, get the gist. So I just added the numbers on each of the photos to share the stories of that photo, and I just cut a file out on that piece of pattern paper, and then I did the mask version over here. I don't know, I like the way that looks. Love this little cluster here. I call this one done. Super simple. And it got that story, our stories documented. All right, moving to the last one. This is toward the end of the month, so I did dip into my Ellie Studio stash of previous collection. This is pattern papers from the, I think, the Love You paper pad, just because I had used a bit of all the other colors, so I wanted to go on a different route. This is a cut file that's an older cut file as well, but it's something that I had on the back burner for a long time. I wanted to do a bit of a currently or like every day in the life with my toddler. What we do, like we have to be active every single day, or it just isn't going to be a productive week, or it's not going to be a successful week with him. So you have to have him like go, 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 go. So run, rock, ride, jump, plan, swing. Yes, yes, yes. These stickers were also from my stash. I don't even know how long I had them. I had intended them for Week in the Life many years over, never did them. So I pulled in also some speech bubbles from the previous month as well. But what gave me the idea to do this was this pattern paper from the April release, the April paper pad, the best. And the idea to cut out the squares and fit a ton of photos in. I could have also placed pattern paper on the excess ones, but I didn't want it to pop too much. There was just a lot of color going on initially already. I didn't want to overdo it. So I love the way this spread turned out. It's a bit busy for me. But I like the way it turned out, you guys, and I hope you got inspired in some way as I share these projects with you. That's another layout, and I don't have it in here, but I think I shared it with you guys. All right, let's move on to the Project Life. Project Life, I think I did 14 through 17, if I remember. Let me just, here we go. 14 and 15 were released last Saturday that just passed. But this is 14, kept it super sweet and simple. I made sure these cards match with the blue and this blue card because there was a lot of blue mainly in most of the photos. The beauty of in Project Life, sometimes simplistic is the way to go. It just varies. This week I added in a pattern card to decorate or be my matte cards, my matte background for my photos. I do mainly always have a white background. Sometimes it's just nice to bring in more colors of the spread. In this case, the blue from his shirt, the blue over here. We had a lot of darker colors in this layout. Here in the video, I make a mistake. I had some stamping that just didn't come out good. Not gonna sweat it. I used a label and restamped a different sentiment, and I call that good, and it helped bring in that mint throughout the layout anyways. Loved all the stamping I did here. You have seen any of my videos. I love to stamp, and yeah. Week 16, this is the week, week 16, yeah, week 16 and 17 are going to be released this Friday. So you're getting a bit of a sneak peek here, and I encourage you to watch that when it comes out this Friday. I loved the way this came out. Oh my god, you guys, I had so much fun pulling out a ton of stamps that are going to fit within the shapes, and I loved it to document the story. So I encourage you to watch that. And I do have that stamp set, and I didn't use it as much as I thought I would, you know, for this these projects. But here's the stamp set. This gave me the idea that I can turn around and do that type of 3x4, 4x6 card and keep pulling out stamps. Can you imagine that, but a full of icons to like share the day, the story, a bunch of different icons throughout the day. Oh, like emojis or face expressions, meals, foods. You could do different food icons and stuff. I did different food sentiments mainly, so that just gave me an idea. And you can do tone on tone. You can do within the colors that coordinate, whether it be with this brand or any other brand. Totally can work. So that just gave me more inspiration. I encourage you to watch that video that's going to be releasing this Friday, which also in that video is going to also be week 17 as well. It looks like a big old mess because we're renovating, so everything's in the living room. Please don't judge me. And out of this layout, I love adding in some 3D embellishments. I added some faux tape underneath these circles. Again, these circles made an appearance throughout most of the spreads. Loved them. They're so adorable. Perfect embellishment. And I like how it coordinates with the cards. But again, this will be shared this week along with week 16. And there's also another flap right here. Love the way all the stamping. And the reason why I did 2 stars is so that way we can both do our rating. My husband and I saw it, so that way he can do his own rating as well for that film. There you have it, you guys. I did a total of 9 projects. I could have done 10. I do have another, oh, you see too, like I have a water stain right here. My son was playing with my water spray and messed up this album. So I'm debating if I want to do another 6x12 or just go to 12x12. We'll see. I'm still debating on that. All right. That completes all of that. Now let's get into the new release, you guys. I am so excited. It is May 10th, so they do the reveal. They let you fill up your cards. If you're a subscriber, you get to see the discount and the freebies, and I am so happy I saw them. Speaking of freebies, the first one I saw that I loved was the cut file. I'm going to show it here. That camera cut file makes me think of a mini album. I think I've done that before, but I'm so excited to have that for the month of June. I'm going to be doing my Disney album. It's kind of like the anniversary since we went last June, and I have yet to complete those albums. So I'm going to try and get those done. The 6x8 album, which is going to be like the overall for the entire family, and then I'm going to do 2 4x6 for one of each of the boys, so that way they have their own albums. And I'm hoping to get that done in the month of June, since it is going on a year and I want it done. But I love that cut file as the camera to be like the cover. So I'm debating on that, you guys. I hope it works out, because it just sounds like an awesome idea. I mean, another part of the new release was the travel tab stamp set. Oh my lanta, you guys. I just love collecting all the tab stamp sets. And another one where they had these banners that had these all the words. It's like read, listen, the days of the week. I thought those were perfect to place like on one Project Life spread, and you know, just to kind of like hone in that area, like a currently for that week, or it could be a currently for a person. I always like doing currentlies every month, especially on one particular family member that's going through a milestone, or you know, something like that. Let's see, what is another item that I purchased? I got the labels, the May labels. They're $1. They're awesome to have. They have the sentiments. I'm going to share them here. And I got the puffy stickers because there's additional sentiments in there, and it's always good to have those. The last item I purchased was not within the release. It's an older stamp set that I've been eyeing, and I could not resist to finally place it in my cart. I will share that here. And I believe that's all I purchased, you guys. It was actually pretty good. I could have bought way more than I needed, but I'm trying to be good. Now, before I leave you guys, I want to share another story that I had in mind. So this is a 3x4 card that's from the April kit, and it says "Making It Happen." This is something that I wanted to use to do a traveler's notebook story in regards to my husband. I always tell him that whenever he tells me something, even if it's far-fetched and he really can't do it, I just always say that to him jokingly, and he knows it. So I always just tell him, yeah, I'll make it happen. And, oh, you're gonna do that? Yeah, it's totally cool, make it happen. And so I wanted to make that notation in regards to the renovation that he's doing right now. He's making it happen. And in the May release that's coming out, there's another 3x4 card with two rectangles, and they have like this little banner on each of the rectangles. If this one says then, and then the other one says now, I thought that was perfect to place a photo of how the master looked before and how it looks after. So that's going to be the perfect story. I love the idea of bringing in this stash into some of the May stories. Comment down below, let me know if you're a subscriber or if you purchased anything from the release, what got you excited, and things like that. Or if you do the same method of breaking down your projects with different brands, different collections, anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be LE Studio. This is just what I like, and I like to share it to give you the idea and inspiration to use it how it works for you. Alright, you guys, I'm gonna call that done. I hope you got inspired in some way. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, bye.